In 2024, the sports world, again, had unforgettable moments. Patrick Mahomes threw a walk-off pass to win the Super Bowl. Freddie Freeman hit a walk-off grand slam to win a World Series game. Stephen Curry said, "Newt," to win an Olympic basketball title in Paris. Noah Lyles won 100-meter gold by about the smallest margin possible. And Sabrina Ionescu won a Wnba Finals game with a 30-foot heave. Depending on who you rooted for, some made you cheer, some left you crushed. Some were the sort that have never been seen before, in a good way. Shohei Ohtani, on the night he started baseball's 50-50 club, drove in 10 runs in a performance for the ages. Some were the sort that have never been seen before, in a jarring way. Scottie Scheffler, the world's no. One golfer got arrested before the second round of the Pga Championship and taken away in handcuffs to jail, where he had a sandwich and started warming up for the tea time he ended up making. And maybe the best way to describe what we had when all these things happened are the words Washington Commanders right guard Sam Cosmi used after his team beat the Chicago Bears with a Hail Mary pass. "Front row seats," Cosmi said, to something amazing. Stephen Curry, the Golden State Warriors superstar sharpshooter, made his Olympic debut one to remember and saved his best for last. He hit 4 3-pointers in the final minutes, each shot more dramatic than the last, to seal the US win over host France for gold. Curry's signature celebration is the night-night, where he puts his hands together at the side of his face, as if it's time to go to sleep. In Paris, he brought shirts that made it perfectly clear to the French what that meant. Yes, the message written on the shirts was Newt. Kansas City's Patrick Mahomes did something no one has ever done. He threw a Super Bowl-winning touchdown pass on the final play of the title game. San Francisco kicked a field goal to open overtime of Super Bowl 58, and Mahomes had 75 yards to go to try and answer. He scrambled for 8 yards on 4th and 1 to keep the drive alive. A huge play that probably very few remember. He went 8 for 8 on passes in overtime, engineering a perfect drive. The final, a 3-yard toss to McCall Hardman with 3 seconds left in overtime, and the Chiefs were back-to-back champions. Technically, the US Women's Rugby Sevens Team won the Olympic bronze medal with a kick, a conversion, they call it. But the real moment was Alex Sedrick running the length of the field and into history. Sedrick got the ball with about 8 seconds left, ran through 3 Australia defenders, and took it all the way down the field for a try that tied the game at 12-12 with no time left. Her kick won bronze for the Americans, a result that made star Ilona Meyer, the undisputed face of the sport in the US, an even bigger name, and breathed new life into the sport in a country where it still has tons of room to grow. In this case, let's make 3 games: Iowa versus UConn, South Carolina versus NC State, then South Carolina versus Iowa for the title. One moment. Maybe a movement is the better word. Caitlin Clark's record-setting year, South Carolina's undefeated run to the national title, UConn's return to the Final Four. They were all part of a scintillating year for women's basketball. The Wnba saw enormous growth. Clark, its Rookie of the Year, helped fuel that in a big way, and more eyeballs were on the game than ever before. Everything at an Olympics is a moment for someone, a lifetime of work typically coming down to a few seconds. But in Paris, a few stood out more than others. Start with Sifan Hassan trading elbows in the stretch of the marathon to win her 3rd distance medal, this one gold. Or Cole Hocker looking like Forrest Gump in Coming from Nowhere to beat the 2 favorites in the men's 1,500-meter run. The highlight, of course, was Noah Lyles' 0.05-second victory in the 100-meter dash. He ran the fastest time of his life and didn't take the lead until the absolute last instant, a finish that even had commentators guessing wrong about who actually prevailed. Of the 346,000 swings taken by batters in Major League Baseball this year, 3 probably jumped out more than the rest. There was Freddie Freeman hitting the first game-ending grand slam in World Series history to move the Los Angeles Dodgers a step closer to beating the New York Yankees and winning the title. There was Pete Alonso saving the season for the New York Mets with a home run to lift them past the Milwaukee Brewers in the deciding game of an AL Wild Card Series. And then there was Shohei Ohtani, a night like none other in a season like none other. On the night in Miami when he joined, created really baseball's 50-homer, 50-steal club, he hit 3 home runs, stole 2 bases, and drove in 10 runs on a 6-for-6 night.